Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on ISO, the Great Reset, and crypto. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We are going to talk about a lot of things in today's video. As we transition into a new global digital financial system and replace the SWIFT system, projects and institutions that are ISO compliant will be at the forefront of the new financial network. This will give them an advantage in capturing market share from existing networks. Now, a lot of people are downplaying ISO right now because these ISO cryptocurrencies didn't take off overnight. That's because a lot of other things still have to happen. CbdCs have to go live throughout the world. Global crypto regulations will be put in place as well. But it will definitely add value over time. And you see, over 70 countries have already adopted ISO 222, so messages will be harmonized with payment systems around the world. When they talk about regulation, you need regulations because you can't have different regulations in one country to the next country to the next country. Otherwise, cross-border payments would not work correctly. And that's why I always said global crypto regulations. ISO is also popular in the truther or conspiracy space as part of a plan to completely reshape the entire global financial system in a worldwide event known as the Great Reset, in an attempt to create a centralized digital dollar and assume control of individual finance. Whenever you hear them say Fourth Industrial Revolution, build back better, what it means is they're pushing towards the Great Reset. And ISO is also part of the Great Reset. CBDCs, Social Credit Score, Digital ID. The Great Reset Initiative, by official definition, is an economic recovery plan drawn up by the World Economic Forum in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. The World Economic Forum has boasted that it has many leaders and key socio-economic and political figures under their control. And I showed you that in previous videos. Any country that you see where they're talking about build back better, you can bet they're on board with the Great Reset. UN and Bill Gates, while you were distracted, announced 50 in 5. The unelected UN and the even less elected Bill Gates have launched a new global framework of digital public infrastructure. DPI consists of three main components: digital ID, digital payment systems, data exchanges between public and private entities. They didn't bother asking you. They think they don't need to. So this was actually talked about while something else was going on. Most likely on the mainstream media, you were tied up watching what's going on over in Israel. Whenever you see some sort of event that they're pushing all day long on the mainstream media news, you always have to ask yourself, what are they planning next? What are they going to announce next? Well, this is what they came up with. EU moves forward with digital ID despite security concerns and potential for abuse. Like I said, the EU is fast-tracking everything. Under the new law, the EU will offer its citizens so-called digital wallets on a voluntary basis at first, which will contain digital versions of their ID cards, driver's license, diplomas, medical records, and bank account information. A digital ID is going to be tied to every aspect of your life. Later, it will be tied to a social credit score. And they're doing this while they're also trying to fast-track the digital euro. Germany to launch digital euro to counter Brics currency. All of a sudden, the Brics seem to be talked about when they're creating digital money. U.S. central bank eyeing digital dollar to counteract Brics pay. So the Brics, while they're trying to push ahead with their new currency and an alternative to SWIFT, other countries are saying, that's why we have to create a digital currency so we could fight off the Brics. And, you know, they're going to use the Brics as an emergency situation inside the United States to roll out a digital dollar. Tr- translation. Rules equal CBDC and no privacy, plus random taxation. Sandbox for kidcoin gambling. Bitcoin. Save this tweet. I am a time traveler. Just in, U.S. Treasury Secretary says if cryptocurrency exchanges want to operate in the United States, they must play by the rules. If they do not, the United States government will take action. So you see now they're going after the exchanges very hard. Look what's going on with Binance and Kraken. And I think what they're doing is they're trying to cut off the on-off ramps to crypto so they could then push ahead with the CBDC because they see crypto as an alternative to a CBDC. But like I always said, if you continue to hold your XRP, you might be able to enrich yourself and live outside of a CBDC. Then this is one I missed, and I mentioned it in a Stellar video. UNHCR, Stellar Aid, pilot airdrops for war aid, Fed Now plus UN and IMF. Beta, Universal Basic Income airdrops for society. Now, when I looked at humanitarian aid and that Stellar Aid Assist, I never thought about, UBI, Universal Basic Income. But take notice, it expires after 6 months. Programmable use, Universal Basic Income, SCS, Social Credit Score, Instant Settlement, Tax at Source, Emergency Government Airdrops. So under the veil of humanitarian relief and emergency aid, they're actually going to roll it out as a UBI. Now, the case for UBI, now a lot of people will say this is the greatest thing that could ever happen because all of a sudden some jobs are going to disappear due to AI taking those jobs. So I could see universal basic income for those people while they get placed in different jobs. But then they go on to talk about how it can empower individuals to explore entrepreneurial ventures, innovative projects, or creative pursuits without the immense pressure of financial instability. How could you ever build a business if your money expires? How could you ever save money to do something that you always wanted to do if the money expires? You see what I'm saying? UBI is like a two-edged sword because some people see it as the greatest thing that could ever happen in their lives. It allowed them to do all the things they ever wanted to do, but they also come with consequences. In other words, say you're speaking out on the internet. All of a sudden, they shut off your money. Say you're buying something like gas to put in your gas-powered car. Oh, well, you don't have enough carbon credits to buy that car, so they don't allow that purchase to go through. UBI on the surface looks like it's great, and people will line up for miles to get it. But once they do get it, then they will realize the bad part of it. Then they will realize that UBI was not as good as they initially thought. Nikki Haley asserts that allowing people to post on social media anonymously is a national security threat. She promises that as president, she will force every person on social media to be verified by their name. I am no lawyer, but isn't this blatantly unconstitutional? Free speech includes anonymous speech. And that is like a push towards digital ID and the social credit score at the same time. World Economic Forum globalists say in the future only the rich will travel by air to reach destinations, while the poor will have to use the metaverse device on their couch. So the globalists get to do all the things that they're doing now, and we all get to sit on the couch inside the metaverse. That sounds fair to you, doesn't it? It's absolutely absurd. And, think about it. This is a big travel week. Imagine going home to see grandma. Or imagine going to the in-laws' house to celebrate Thanksgiving. Oh, in the future, if you don't have the carbon credits to do that, I guess you're going to have to stay home. Everybody could get into the metaverse, and that's how you'll be eating Thanksgiving. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous, and this is pushed by that evil prick, Klaus Schwab, from the World Economic Forum. Then they can buy carbon credits from the poor people who can't afford to fly. That's also part of the agenda. They want to give you an allotment of carbon credits every single month. But then they figure that the poor will sell them to the rich, so the rich can feel good about flying in their private planes and eating steaks and driving gas-powered cars everywhere. But you see, road vehicles by 2029 or by 2030, they want to pretty much get rid of all gas-powered vehicles. You will only then see electric vehicles going forward. Even rails, and then flying and shipping is also another big one that they want to cut out in the future. Heating, appliances, food, materials, production, construction, manufacturing, electricity, fossil fuels. Construction is going to become so expensive, nobody's going to want to build anything because they're going to price you out of everything. You're going to have to buy so many different things to cut down on the carbon usage that a house emits. It's absolutely ridiculous, and this is what's going to put people out of work in the future, and then they're going to be forced onto the universal basic income. Climate change is causing inflation. Isn't that absolutely ridiculous? And these are the brightest minds in the world that are trying to fix the planet for everyone, make everything better. Exposed warning: Klaus Schwab and World Economic Forum's secret blueprint to control every aspect of your life. So they want financial control through implementing CBDCs. We know those are definitely coming. Here in the United States, though, people are absolutely, mindless. They think that for some reason the U.S. is going to be exempt from a CBDC. I can talk to people that even hold crypto, and I'll say, CBDCs are coming. And they're like, oh, I don't think that's ever going to happen in the United States. That's a European problem, or that's Australia's problem. It's never going to happen here. But once they realize that this is definitely going to happen, and one day they're going to wake up, that emergency situation is going to be put in place, and then they're going to announce a digital dollar all over the mainstream media news. Energy control: banning gas vehicles and stoves and throttling thermostats. Remember the gas stoves that they wanted to get rid of? Food control: expanding lab-grown meats, terminator seeds, and insect-based proteins. Health control: expanding mandatory medical technologies and digital IDs. Remember, they're going to control you through your health also. Say, for instance, your social credit score is no good. You won't be able to get an operation if you need one. Technology control: pushing AI and transhumanism. This is the moron right here that wants to put a chip inside of everyone. And again, I'm not taking the chip, and I don't suggest you to take the chip either. But this guy, he talks like he's the prophet. Like he came back from the future to tell us exactly what's going to happen. And do you ever take notice? They don't care that the poor people die, but the rich people, they will get to live forever. They will get 3D printed organs in the future. AI will keep them alive for all of eternity. It's absolutely crazy. And yet this is what our government signed on for. Our government leaders sign on for this because they line their pockets from this through climate change, through pushing stocks up higher and higher while they're investing in those stocks at the same time, insider trading. But there's all kinds of ways, and even the money laundering, that money coming back to certain politicians as well. It's all about them and getting rich and us staying poor. Same reason that they're targeting the middle class through inflation. Most people, their savings is dwindling now. They're using credit cards to buy things more and more because credit card debt reaches a new all-time high week over week. And this is why I'm an XRP investor, because I want to enrich myself before it's too late. And this is our one shot to do it in our lifetime. The fourth industrial revolution is here. You either get rich from it or you go poor from it. And if you go poor, you might be living under a CBDC tied to a digital ID and a social credit score. I see crypto as our one way out. And I might be totally wrong about that, but I'm willing to take a shot at it. How about you? With that said, stay patient, stay positive. Let's get rich together. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night. I appreciate all of you.